As we take a live look with our Fox 5 Sky camera at the wharf at Reagan National, storms have been forming to the west. They have been intensifying very quickly. And as a result, they have been showing the potential for rotation, including, as I'm going to get for you right now, a tornado warning that was just issued. So I'm going to load up my system. It should appear in just a couple seconds. I can read to you exactly what the warning is. It looks like it was just off to the west, but might include parts of Loudoun County. There it is. So let me zoom in a little bit for you. It is including Front Royal. So this is in one of the more southern storms that we have. That tornado warning includes Fauquier, Rappahannock, and Warren counties. It goes until 5 p.m. And this is a part of the storm that looks very dangerous. It looks like it has the potential to rotate, along with bringing very heavy rain, gusty winds, and frequent lightning. So we're going to stay on this warning, considering it gets into parts of our viewing area close to the metro, Fauquier County. So there's the actual warning. It's that red box that does include Front Royal. The National Weather Service issued this warning for central Warren County, northeastern Rappahannock County, west central Fauquier County until 5. So the part of the storm capable of producing a tornado is right over Front Royal. If you are in Front Royal, if you are watching Front Royal, or you are just east of there, you want to take this warning very seriously and you want to shelter in place, get into your basement or the lowest level of your home. This storm is moving to the south and east at 40 miles an hour. It has rotation within it. It could also have some hail in it. And anything that's producing gusty winds or rotating winds or anything that could produce a tornado can produce debris. So you want to be very careful, as this can quickly escalate into a very scary situation. So what I'm going to do is zoom in exactly where the storm is. The worst of it is truly right over downtown Front Royal. That's where you're seeing all that lightning. And if there's rotation within it, it's going to be literally right over the city. So a more populated area this time of the afternoon, a lot of people heading back from the city westbound on 66 headed towards this storm. So you really want to take caution and not drive right into it, especially at this point. I'm putting on our velocity overlay, which shows me how the winds are kind of twisting up above. And yep, that signature is, again, right over Front Royal. So this is something that you do not want to mess with. It looks just to the south and along 66. I'm circling for you the point of rotation within the storm. So again, right over Front Royal, right along and just south of 66 as this moves into parts of Rappahannock and Fauquier counties. It's also under a severe thunderstorm warning, this whole storm. And I'll zoom out a bit for you, and I'll kind of put a tracker on this so we can let you know what homes are in the path of the storm. So there it is over Front Royal. It's dropping to the south and east at about 25 miles an hour. So these are all some communities within the path of the storm that do want to take shelter. Blue Ridge Mountains Estates, Crest Hill, Orlean, Warrenton. Warrenton is probably, you're getting into more central Fauquier County. You're getting into maybe a more well-known suburb of D.C. Of course, that's still a good hour drive out, but you get the idea. It's getting closer into the metro. So this was part of an upgrade, this warning, to a tornado watch for parts of the area because the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service in tandem are just kind of seeing a lot of twisting and turning of the winds out there today. And that's probably going to keep prompting these sorts of tornado warnings that we're seeing right now. So again, we have it on the bottom of your screen. A tornado warning is issued in Front Royal. That goes until 5 p.m. These are a lot of the communities in the path. You are getting kind of close to the metro as you get into Fauquier County. I know it's very hilly once if in this part of 66, and as you're getting closer to 81, it's a little difficult to see. So the rotation within it would be right over Front Royal, but at this point it might be starting to drop southeast of Front Royal as well. So let's go back to the actual radar in itself. That's the storm that has prompted the tornado warning. I do want to say we have a long line of nasty looking storms that extends not just from Front Royal, but all the way through Hagerstown. And that's prompted several severe thunderstorm warnings. So what I'll do is kind of zoom out and go with this through you, warning by warning, because we also have what's called a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. And that is over Frederick County, Maryland, Jefferson County, Washington County. That's until 5 p.m. This storm looks really terrible. It's headed straight for just south of downtown Frederick, but kind of where I-70 meets 270. And this is not a tornado warned storm. A tornado is possible, but it's not a tornado warned storm. What it is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. And this is for straight line winds with gusts to 70 miles an hour. So that can do the same amount of damage as a tornado. It doesn't have to be rotating. It can be straight. It can do the same things, and it can cause damage, and it can bring down trees and power lines and cause power outages. So those are the two storms I'm most concerned about. As we get in a little bit closer in this, I'll give you some communities. Roarsville and Brunswick, the heart of the storm is right over you. Burkittsville, Petersville, these are all the communities approaching Frederick County that are under this considerable severe thunderstorm warning. So Jefferson's in the path of this storm, Ballinger Creek in the path of this storm. We'll put a tracker on this one for you too, because again, just like the tornado warned storm, it can do the same amount of damage. Slabtown, Jefferson, Buckystown, Hope Hill, Urbana. You guys are all within the path of this storm, which again does not have a tornado warning, but it has the considerable tag for straight line winds. A lot of lightning. I'm seeing a ton of lightning within this storm. It's probably super loud as it starts to move eastward. Again, Brunswick, Lovettsville, so it's getting into Loudoun County there. This is the storm that is just, looking at so much lightning there, at least within that slice, nearly 100 strikes of lightning. Okay, we have a new large severe thunderstorm warning with a designation for tornado possible. So I suspect we're going to be getting into more tornado warnings momentarily. This one is for a huge chunk of our viewing area. Almost hard to see. I'm going to switch over to Storm Tracker radar so you can get a better view of it. But Baltimore, Frederick, Howard, and Montgomery County, where you see that purple tag, that is a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:30 with tornado possible for any of these storms that are kind of approaching. So here's a better view of it as it pushes eastward. You can see all that real estate that this warning takes up. This is going to account for not just that whole line of storms bearing down on I-70 and 270, but also you've got some cells up ahead of it. They almost look like they want to merge with the main line. This is, it moved across 270. This is now kind of on the Montgomery and Howard County border, lifting towards I-70, anywhere from Olney through Laytonsville up through Damascus, and now east of Frederick. This is all coming together over Frederick. All right, let's get back to our tornado warning here. This has just been, reinforced. It's not really reissues, but they are not dropping it at the National Weather Service. So I want to remind you that that's the reason that we got on the air and the reason that we're staying on the air. Fauquier, Rappahannock, and Warren counties. That tornado warning is going until 5 p.m. Okay, on the right-hand side of your screen, we do have some live picture out of Virginia. Sorry, Julia, just tell me again where this is. Okay, Shenandoah Shores Road and Happy Creek Road. I'm wondering if this is anywhere. I'm not familiar with the area. I'm sure this is out in the Shenandoah Valley. It looks like it probably could be underneath that storm that's now pushing south and east of Front Royal. But it's pouring rain. You get an idea of just how terrible it looks out there. You've got rain that is coming down sideways, reduced visibility. You've also got gusty winds and potential rotation within this storm right here, this tornado-warned storm for Fauquier, Rappahannock, and Warren that goes until 5 p.m. So let's see. You know what? I'm going to just check if there's any reports of anything. At this point, it's just radar indicated, but it doesn't look like there's been any conversation about anything that's a report. So in that case, we're just going to continue to assume that the radar is picking up rotation within that cell, and that has prompted the tornado warning. So that's the first one. That's the main one that we're watching. And you could tell from the earlier camera work there, really ugly looking storm over them, again with the threat of rotation, but also with the heavy rain and the lightning makes it very difficult to be out on the roads. This one's definitely dropping more south and east, so we'll put a tracker on it which shows you some towns that are kind of almost moving away from 66, but still there. Crest Hill, Amisville, Botha, and Remington. So this is getting into more southern sections of Fauquier County, and you guys are in the path of the storm, the tornado warned storm, and you're going to want to take shelter if you are following that. Okay, big picture here. I'm going to step out in front of the screen and kind of go over everything with you as we see this nasty line of showers and thunderstorms moving our way. There's a lot of warnings, and there's a lot of warnings within the warnings. So the latest one issued, this big yellow box, is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible that goes all the way to the Baltimore Beltway. This goes until 5:30 p.m. It takes up all of Frederick County, Baltimore County, Howard County, and Montgomery County, most of Montgomery County at least. It gets pretty much all the way down to 70 to about Rockville and Olney, and then it cuts off, but it'll likely be at some point extended southeastward as well. So what that means is we've got some cells here that are likely producing damaging winds, straight line winds over 60 miles an hour, but there's enough potential for rotation within this broad line of thunderstorm activity, as well as what's kind of combined here along I-70, another little line. This will all just become one shortly. And within that, kind of when you see that merger, you can get some spin as the storms kind of come together. And, you know, as we put a tracker on it right there, you can see that picks up early rotation within the cell of the storm. So not uncommon when you see one area of storms moving in one direction, another area moving in a following direction, and then they come together, that you can get some twisting. Anyways, here's our tornado warned storm. This is down over Front Royal. Again, this warning goes until 5 p.m. as it is going to drop into parts of Fauquier and Rappahannock counties, as well as where it's originated there in Warren County. Looks like it's also got a severe thunderstorm warning around it too. So these warnings are just coming fast and furious. My best piece of advice is, if you're out ahead of this storm, to take shelter. It doesn't even matter if you're in a severe thunderstorm warning or this tornado warning, even though that's the more serious one. They all have the potential to bring damage and to cause a lot of problems. You want to be off the roadways and back into your homes. This is a track for the tornado warning at 443 Blue Ridge Mountain Estates. So that's kind of right. You're already seeing and feeling the worst of the storm right now there. But then Crest Hill down through Warrenton, Auburn. These are all communities within the path of storm. Warrenton, that's more of a well-known part of Fauquier County, probably not reaching you for maybe another 20 plus minutes or so. It is moving at about 25 miles an hour, so that's not the fastest moving storm, but it is at least moving, and it's going to push into other sections of Fauquier County here shortly. There's a look at the velocity tracker. It's looking a little bit more diffuse, I guess you would say. The couplet was very tight when it first formed right over Front Royal, but that part of the storm that's rotating is still kind of dropping into parts of Fauquier and Rappahannock counties at the moment, and kind of just staying south of, I-66. So tornado warning, always want to take seriously. They will probably let this one ride until 5 p.m. And then from there, we'll see if they're going to reissue it or not. Off to the north, you've got our considerable severe thunderstorm warnings. It looks like we've got twin ones now. We'd been following this one that was coming out of the mountains for a while, but now we have a secondary one into Loudoun County. This one goes until 5:15. This has got to be a loud and ugly storm if you are in Luckett's or Lovettsville, out in Bluemont, where we have our Bear Trace Brewery camera. We could probably show that because the worst of the storm bearing down on western Loudoun County right now. That goes until 5:15. That's a considerable thunderstorm. You could have gusts to 70 miles an hour. So that's going to do all the same damage that a tornado warned storm could do potentially. All of this is also moving off to the east. You see where it's all headed, one direction into the metro. And that's why the National Weather Service went ahead and just issued this massive severe thunderstorm warning in this pink-purple color to account for what they fear is going to intensify as it pushes off to the east. It's already a very strong line producing frequent lightning, heavy rains, and those wind gusts over 70 miles an hour. So that one goes until 5:30. Tornado possible means there's the potential for rotation, but they're not seeing it specifically on one cell enough so to prompt a tornado warning. But it always gives us a heads up to know, okay, there's a chance, a decent chance that we could have some more tornado warnings in this area. And again, that's well to the north and east of our tornado warned storm that has now dropped south and east of Front Royal. Right before I got on here, we were upgraded to a tornado watch for all of the D.C. area and points east. So the threat looks to now become more about tornadoes and rotation versus just straight line winds. So we'll see as these kind of fully emerge from the mountains and get into our northwest suburbs what we're going to truly be dealing with. But at the baseline, we do have these severe thunderstorms that are capable of producing damaging winds and tornadoes. Not really hail. We haven't seen much of that at the moment. All right, let's see if that's an update of our tornado warning or if it's just the same one. Same one. Okay, so it's now 4:45. We've got this tornado warning that's going to continue for the next 15 minutes. The worst of the storm has dropped south and east of Front Royal. It is now bearing down on Huntley as it is 4:45 right now. Wakefield Manor at 4:46 and Orlean at 5:01 and Dudee at 5:08 p.m. So these communities are ones I really haven't heard of, but they're kind of right on the Fauquier County border here. And you're in some very hilly terrain, horse country, but it might be a little difficult to see. And that's why we don't want you to go to try and see. You just want to take shelter and make sure you're inside your home, you're in a basement, you're in the lowest level. Ride this storm out. Just wait until this tornado warning expires. If there's rotation within the storm, we'd love to get down and see a storm name there or a town name there, but it doesn't look like we've got much. Huntley. Well, Huntley was on our storm track, so that would make the most sense that the worst of the storm is over Huntley right now. Moving to the south and east at 25 miles an hour. This tornado warning again going until 5 p.m. A lot of lightning with this guy, torrential rain. Heavy rain will be a part of all of these storms as they move through this afternoon. Here's Washington, Virginia, so you get an idea. There's Washington. Warrenton is just outside the actual tornado warning, but between where I saw Marshall, just north of 66, and Washington, beautiful part of Virginia with a lot of rolling hills and horse farms, very pretty. But that's the area where you want to be taking shelter, and you also want to be weather aware if you're north of that tornado warning, because the northern branch of all of these severe thunderstorms continues to produce those considerable severe thunderstorm warnings as well as the potential for rotation. Not to be left out, we now have a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Maryland. You know, I was watching these guys kind of pop up over St. Mary's and Calvert County over the past hour or two. They weren't severe. Well, now they are. So this one for Calvert and St. Mary's County goes until 5:15. It's kind of lifting more southwest to northeast versus the other ones that are dropping down more northwest to southeast. So this is a Lone Ranger, this cell right here. And it has the potential to, yes, bring heavy rain, frequent lightning, and damaging winds. But a lot of the times with these Lone Rangers, and especially when they start to cross the Potomac, you do look for that spin. And I would not be surprised if upstream of there could be a tornado warning, maybe as it crosses onto the eastern shore. A lot of talk this afternoon about that tornado.